Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dawn of War Soulstorm. Now, with the somewhat recent, less recent at this stage, announcement of Dawn of War 3 later this year, after a rather large gap between the last game and Dawn of War 3, I thought I'd go back and revisit some of the earlier games. Now, Soulstorm came out, no, I'm not entirely sure when, 2006, I think? I could be completely and utterly wrong, please correct me if I am. But I thought it'd be a rather entertaining way to go back and revisit some of the earlier games in anticipation of Dawn of War 3's release at some point, hopefully later this year. I don't remember whether they actually announced a release date. Since this is your first time playing the Dawn of War Soulstorm, it is not my first time playing Dawn of War Soulstorm. This is the first time since I've installed it on Steam. I've had the disc since the mid-2000s. No, I would not like to play the tutorial. Thank you. I'm okay. I have a rough idea of how this works. Also, I've been playing the other expansions of the game on Steam more recently. There's the original Dawn of War, then Winter Assault introduced a new race and a new campaign, as did Dark Crusade, and finally Soulstorm. I tend to stick with Dark Crusade when playing with friends, as Soulstorm added lots of new things which, when it comes to playing together, a lot of my friends and I, sometimes we feel that it didn't quite get the balance right. But on the flip side of that, Soulstorm is also a large amount of fun and contains a large amount of expansive stuff that isn't in Dark Crusade. So I've decided to play that one because, hell, it's good fun. So, new game. Let's put ourselves on normal difficulty.
It was the sudden appearance of a warp storm at the Kaurava system's outer edge that first caught the attention of the Imperium. And not just the Imperium. After hundreds of years under the neglectful watch of the Imperial Guard, nearly every force in the galaxy would descend upon the planet of Kaurava, bent only on domination and victory. 3 races had long dwelled in there. The Imperial Guard, its supposed rulers, the Orc tribes of Kaurava II, which the Guard had never successfully put down, and the Necron, who had slept undisturbed for untold millennia beneath Kaurava III. Where the Chaos Marines came from, or how, none can say. Did the Warp Storm bring them, or did they bring the Warp Storm? Both appeared suddenly on Kaurava IV, and in an eye blink, half the system's Imperial forces were gone, killed or claimed by the madness of chaos. In quick succession, the others flocked to Kaurava. The Space Marines, the Imperium's super soldiers, descended on Kaurava II, planning to finally cleanse the system, both of the troublesome Orcs and the Chaos Marines, the sworn mortal enemies. The Tau appeared next, not far above, on one of the planet's moons. In the interests of protecting its ordered empire from the effects of human folly, the Tau came seeking to contain the Warp Storm, and in so doing, expand the territory's border. On their moon, they built a mighty fortress, and there forged a space cannon capable of interplanetary devastation. Among the wastes of Kaurava III, the Necrons, perhaps awakened by the disruptive forces of the Warp Storm, slowly massed their lethal legions. In quick response, webway gates, long unused, flickered to life, and Eldar poured forth, ready to battle their dark, death-dealing adversaries. Meanwhile, in the shadow of an ancient portal gate, the Dark Eldar slipped stealthily out of the murky depths of the webway. They would be like carrion birds, flying above the battlefield, and when all were weary from the fight, make the battlefield into a feasting ground. Last to arrive, and perhaps most to be feared, were the Sisters of Battle, holy maidens and bearers of the God Emperor's faith. They had come to cleanse the system of corruption and filth. Their faith left them fanatical, unafraid of death and zealous in their cause. Nothing here was clean. All must be purged. Now, war rages anew, and only the victorious may write their history. Only the victorious will claim the planets of Kaurava.
And with the introduction complete, welcome to Dawn of War Soulstorm. Now, we've got plenty of choices here, as you can see. One of the many things I do like about playing Soulstorm is we have such a wide variety of options, and each of the races has their own unique storyline. I say storyline, well, each unique background. It's less of a story-driven campaign, more of a take over all of the world's campaign. But then again, there's a unique character interactions between the generals when you reach each of the bases, etc, etc, and it's really quite entertaining. And once again, plenty of options. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to go back to a personal old favourite of mine within the Warhammer 40k universe, of being the Orcs. You are the one and only war boss Gorguts. You have brought your tireless war to the big fight going on in Kaurava. The bigger the fight, the greater the Orc who wins it. Lead the Kauravan boys and stomp all your enemies good. And as a bonus power, we get faster population growth because we're Orcs. And I'd say we breed like rabbits, but in the 40k universe, Orcs are more like a sort of sentient fungus. And the dust flakes off their skin are actually spores which grow more Orcs. Which is a terrifying thought when you consider that each of them is at least a 6-foot murder machine. So, let's be them. So we start off in one of our territories over here on the map.
Welcome to the single player campaign.
Dismiss all help pop-ups. Go away, I don't care. Hello, where do we start? The Orc base, I can't find the name of it. On planet, I can't find the name of that either. And I appear currently to be surrounded by Tau on my south and the Space Marines on my north. Well, the weakest target, and therefore the easiest to start with, is this one to my northwest, the Trivian Groves. I get a unit of Storm Boys for free for my Honour Guard if I hit that first. And what would my other option be? Slugger Boys. No, Storm Boys it is, because they have rockets strapped to their backs because they're fucking mental. I've got nothing to start with. I'm just no Honour Guard to add. Right, starting off right here. Strength 2. Enemy commander is a skilled combatant. Enemy force likely consists of basic infantry and the enemy has a single base. So we could attack and take them out fairly quickly. Of course, that would leave us barren of defences if the opponent decided then to attack us back. That said, I don't remember in Soulstorm whether your bases are permanent between missions, so turtling up might not be the best option. We'll have to see. I might try turtling up a little bit as I build up, and then going from there. So, Grots, firstly, let's build something up. Boys hope we can get more lads out of there. A couple of Slugger Boy squads out. A couple of Gretchen squads out. Gretchen infiltration to make my builders invisible. Let's get Gorguts moving around, scout out the area. Okay, first unit of oil. Let's capture that objective there. Gorguts can stick in with them. That'll make him a little bit less of a target, and he can use those as bullet shields, which is always handy. Got some more boys coming out of here. Some power generators, because we're going to need some energy soon. There's two main resources in Dawn of War. There's requisition and power. Power is gained by building power generators. Requisition is gained by capturing strategic locations and building what's called listening posts on them. So, build the listening post on there, lads. And get that Slugger Boy squad with Gorguts over to get the other one. Fantastic. Another one over there. Keep building up. Humies. Space Marines. There we go. Get back this way. Both squads on the Marines. Now, they've tried to rush us. Let's counter. Everybody over that way. If we counter their rush immediately, we should be able to solve our problems pretty quickly. Repair the little bit of damage they've done to us. Rip up some Marines down here. Make that squad a little bigger. Right, Gorguts and the lads will squash them. That's nice. That's one problem solved. Fantastic. Now, one of the nice things about being the orcs in this game is that other races spend resources on building turrets, and your turrets are just exactly that, defensive turrets. Now with the orcs, your turrets are actually also crucial to your strategy. They are what allows you to have more lads on the team. Your population is capped here and your vehicles are capped here, and when it comes to the orcs, it's actually building more WAAAAAGH banners, which also act as turrets, that increases your population cap. This means that your turrets are more valuable than usual, which is admittedly an odd strategic position to be in, but not one that I'm going to complain about. So, to have that set up.
Which way?
Can also upgrade the guns on those, but it's a sort of symbiotic relationship between having more lads in the army and being able to do more with that. We also have a secondary commander we can get here, our big mech, who I will get shortly because he's very handy. He has his own custom teleporter, which means we can jump infantry right into an enemy base, which is very, very, very good as a disruptive tactic. Oh, excuse me. Send the lads over that way. And pop another listening post on here. Okie dokie, everything's building up nicely. We're going to need another war banner in a second. Although we also have, while we don't have the resources for it yet, we have enough population to build a pile of guns, which is the orc equivalent of an armoury. Everything is somewhat lower tech when you start dealing with orcs, but by and large also even more fun.
Let's go the other way.
And whilst most actual orcs are murder-mad lunatics, the Gretchen builders tend to be complete cowards, which is an entertaining contrast. I will also set my units to get some burners in the squads, which is some basic orc flamethrowers. Those are always nice to have.
It now belongs to the orcs.
Okay, let's get another builder unit over here to put a listing post on there.
Ready for stomping? We'll make it orky.
Aha! Each unit of boys can be upgraded with a knob leader. So I shall put that in each unit as well. It's just one big nasty lad to deal with the big nasty enemy units, but that suits me just fine. Ah, they've tried to get close and build on that on our point, have they? I realise it may be theirs at the minute, but that just means it's ours now. They've sent servo skulls to scout us out. I'll be having none of that.
Eyes too big to be beat.
Okay, also having bigger listing posts also increases several things. It increases the health and damage of the listing post and also increases the rate at which they produce requisition, which is very, very handy. Let's put more generators down, because while we haven't used a lot of power so far, will be using power en masse very shortly. More wire banners, we'll need those.
Build it right up for you.
It now belongs to the orcs.
Okay, let's get another unit of grots out to build a listing post over here.
Time to build
I want to get stuck in with the boys.
Now there's a relic over here which is super important. It both gives us requisition like a strategic point, and also gives us the ability to build our super units. They're shooting us. There's a unit of Marines coming to try and stop us from capturing the strategic point. I'll have none of that. Come back here, Marines. See, that unit there has been broken. That means we've absolutely decimated their morale, and they are now much more likely to run away from us. And it makes them completely ineffectual at actually fighting us, which is nice. I can see that they've started using a turret, so I want none of that in my life.
I'm not doing anything.
More war banners, please. I can see a turret over there, and I don't want that. Now the big mech, when he actually turns up, is very handy. Let's put some research going, make everything... Right, that'll toughen up and increase the damage of everything. I'm afraid I've just sort of done that rather quickly. Whoop. What's happening out here? Ah! Their commander's attacking our post. Want none of that. Repair it, lads.
Here to fix your cabin. Don't bother me. I'm working on something.
Well, teleport out. It's not an infinite range teleport, but it is at least some motion. Okay, good. Okay, that escalate engagement research would be very handy if we could do anything with it. Okay, well we found their base, so we'll be taking that any second now. In the meantime, the big mech can duke it out with their commander, whilst their commander is failing to do anything to our turret, because our grots who are repairing the building are invisible to him, which is just grand. That's what the infiltration research does. And over here, I can use the boss's WAAAAAGH ability to make all our boys fight harder. Exactly what we want. Tougher bosses research will increase the power and toughness of all our leader units, which is again super handy. Ah, we appear to have killed their commander, and the big mech is now fighting some of their scouts.
I'm not doing anything.
That's handy.
What is it?
Come on, join the other lads over here. Attached to that unit that hasn't got the boss in it. Nice, with the Gretchen constantly fixing that building, the enemy don't seem to be able to do a great deal. Oh! They're doing just a wee bit of damage over here.
You need something fixed.
Here we go, that will kill you. Right, also, once you destroy the enemy base, you win the round. So, hopefully this will be the only one that they've managed to build in time, and we should be able to call an end to this match here. No! They've built a backup somewhere. The bastards. Unless I have to destroy everything they've got. It was worth a try. Oh well, we've destroyed their base, which will make their life a hell of a lot more difficult. I can disable vehicles with that? No, I can't disable turrets with it, unfortunately.
I should invent some kind of machine that makes walking faster.
Okay, well it was worth a try. Escalate engagement research will cause everything to us to gain requisition a lot faster, which is nice, although we don't need requisition at the moment. What we actually need is more power.
We's gonna make it
So I can get units of drops on the job there. Where's our next unit of builders gone? There you are, you lazy gits. Right, 6 generators is our limit, so let's do that. Let's upgrade our turrets. Okay, how are the lads doing over here? Not bad, units are at full size. Building's going to hell. There's their apothecary. They've brought a dock out with no one else to support him. Their sacred artifact is their building that generates apothecaries and librarians, which is doctors and big psychic power men. Oh, right, so we had to annihilate them and destroy all their unit producing buildings, not just destroy their HQ. That is one of the alternate win conditions, and I hadn't in fact looked at the win condition beforehand. Now, at the end of the battle, you are sometimes awarded war gear for certain checkpoints within the game, in this case for our first conquest, and we've earned the Heavy Storm Boys squad as part of our boss's honour guard. So we get to upgrade Gorguts from his basic with one of these. The bigger claw. If you thought your claw was chopping them up before, just you try this custom job. Now, orcs are fantastic in melee, as you may have seen, so I'll probably go with that over any of the custom shooter weaponry, although that looks nice, and the custom cannon, ooh, that looks even nicer. But we will hopefully be spending all of our time in melee. Now, what does the rest of it do? Big Horns increases melee damage and health. That does look nice. Okay, let's have a quick look at the stats here. The bigger claw puts our melee damage from 200 to 300. Nice. Range damage 166 to 200. Not worth it. That. Wow, okay. So the bigger claw is just completely outclassed by the big horns, because that puts our melee damage all the way up to 335, and our health goes up by 600 as well. What's the Red Iron Gob do? Melee damage and health. Same thing as the big horns. Cyborg Body greatly increases health. Yes, it does greatly increase health. Holy hell. Mecha Booster increases movement speed and allows Warboss to charge enemies. That's very cool, but I think we might want more health first. Skulls decreases enemy morale and increases the Warboss's health. Oh, that's cool, but I think it might be one of the later ones. And reduces recruitment time and increases infantry cap. Oh, hello. I think the War Banner might be the way for us to go, because with orcs, one of the best ways to go with your enemy is to simply overpower them with sheer numbers. So I think our first port of call is the War Banner, because we don't need extra health if we've got extra bodies in the way. So, with that done, that is our first conquest achieved. And I think that's a good place to end our first round of Dawn of War Soulstorm. So thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this first episode as much as I have, and look forward to the next one. Bye-bye for now.